Welcome to Toffee TV. There you go. We're all in a state of gloom.
Yeah, I mean, the mic's working.
Hang on. The mics are working, yeah. Mics are working. We're all in a state of gloom because we've just found out that Jean-Philippe Gbamin is going to be out for another 3 months, baby! Woohoo! Andy, just squeeze in a bit, mate.
Move in a little bit, you know.
You
Go for you there, lad. There you are, lad. I mean, you're still 6'96".
Yeah.
Your
head's in Wales.
What a... Can't even watch. Going to try and lower the chair, baby.
Where's your hand going there,
There's
son?
nowhere to lower.
Sit on the floor.
Go on, you two talk about this horrendous situation.
I mean,
it's just bad luck, though. But the problem with the issue I found is the club 6 weeks ago could have put him in for surgery, and it would have been 3 months. But then now at this point, now we're even halfway through. Now
he must have thought that he didn't need surgery.
Yeah, but sometimes surgery's not good.
Well, look at the. I mean, it hasn't helped us in any way, shape, or form. But look at the Onyekuru thing.
Yeah,
they wanted him to have surgery, and Everton said he didn't need it, and he's never needed to have it, has he?
Really wasn't Monaco.
Yeah, and he's flying now, Monaco. No, I think it's just it's depressed me that really, to be honest, because we just haven't had. Listen, we've been crap this season and all that, but we haven't had any luck. And I often say it, if we didn't have bad luck, we'd have no luck at all.
No, sure.
And this just, to me, just reiterates it. It's an area that we can't afford to be losing players with. Our midfield's horrific as it is.
Well, as we just discussed on that Marcel Brand's video, the idea was to have an athletic midfield and Gomez Gbamin. And now we're left with well, you're saying that we've still got Tom Davies and Gomez to come in.
Well, yeah, get them two in with Delph.
Yeah,
just as long as I don't see another two of our midfield that have played a lot.
Yeah.
Leave them out for a bit until
there's options there.
Till one gets his form back and the other one gets a move. Because it's just, they can't cope with our midfield with being as slow as it is.
Does it clarify though what he needs to do instead of, because sometimes managers will wait for players and sort of won't put plans in place. Does this sort of say to him that you can't, and I really should have done this anyway, but if we have been saying, we're going to play 4-3-3, but I need to wait for...
He did say that, yeah.
Is this now a case of, well, you might never get your perfect?
Exactly.
I mean, you might never get your perfect. So go and play the system and
establish it now,
yeah, and put the players in it.
Well, that's what he should do.
That's what he should have
done it. The minute the Bournemouth game came and went, that should have been the day.
Should have been the Palace game if he had these ideas.
Yeah.
Or last season, he should have started implementing slowly. But
do you know what he should have done? Should have listened to Tingyalar of Boyzone. That's what he should do. His life is a roller coaster. You've just got to ride it.
Well, I think he's trying to ride it, but he's trying to ride it with every safety belt he can fit on.
Snyder's driving it.
It's going 3 miles an hour sideways, isn't it?
I mean, it's going up the track. It's just going very slowly in a sideways manner.
What's depressing?
I think it's very depressing. Let's get it. Gary Ward says howdy.
All
right, well, you get.
Howdy.
You get.
I mean, I'm showing them on the laptop, isn't it? The fact.
It's over there. I mean, we've got the things.
Yeah.
Gary Ward says howdy. Owen Park says, hey lads, any chance that we can now move for Sean Dyche? He is simply the greatest manager the world's ever seen. I take styling tips off him.
FFO.
He didn't say any of that.
Did
Dave Wild says, my all-time favourite goal against West Ham was Ronnie Goodless with a 45-yarder. And it wasn't that far. It just keeps on getting further and further back.
I think it's a goal kick, didn't he?
At Upton Park, you're probably too young to remember it.
Yes. Seen it though.
Kane,
Ronnie's told us about it all the time.
Kane says Gbamin out for another 3 months.
Yeah.
Just been confirmed. We are cursed.
Feels like that, Kane, doesn't it?
Paul Cattle says, looks like another 3 months for the sidelines for Gbamin. When will our luck change? Gutter for the lad, but why is he only now having a knock on the injury after being out for all this time already? Fingers crossed that he will need much better performance for everyone, including the tea lady. One thing I would say about Gbamin is,
I think this is a tea lady.
No.
Let's hang on the sound. There's Fuzzy.
That's probably, yeah.
Haley. Bill Cummins says it's muffly. Let us know what the sound's like, please. Please.
Pretty please.
What I would say about Gbamin is that I think he would have been out for another month anyway.
He would have been.
I don't think he was back this Saturday.
But it's just more depressing. He hadn't 2 months on top of it, isn't it?
Go on, just keep talking. I'll investigate.
I investigate. It's a new series called
Glenn Watson once asked me, and only me, would I rather be able to detect any lie I hear or get away with any lie I tell?
Mm-hmm. Why is that just you?
I don't know.
What does he want to ask him?
Yeah. I probably...
Oh, hang on, yeah, it is a bit...
Is it that man?
Bear with, we're going to sort the sound.
Oh.
In a minute.
Hang on.
Bear with.
10 to 11.
Everyone's just had their ears blown off, by the way.
Apologies if your ears have just been blown off.
It's in the way, though.
Go on, just keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
I'd probably rather detect any lie I was told.
Good unselfish choice there.
Really. So, I mean, what about you, Glenn? Would you rather detect any lie you're being told? Any lie you hear, or get away with any lie you tell? What would you rather do? Sophie Gallagher, evening lads, JP News, a new centre midfield has to be brought in January.
You have to take some out.
Sophie's having doubts about Brands.
Why? You've just done a great video on Brands and why you shouldn't have doubts.
Mm.
He can't help injuries. That's not his fault. At the end of the day, he can't help injuries, and Gabbaman's a good player, so hopefully we see him back.
Sophie gone further and thinks Mashiri should be the director of football.
Tell her to shut up.
Doesn't work. Come on, Soph. Come on.
Faith.
I know it's a bit rubbish
it
at the
works
moment.
at Man City. It works at Liverpool. I don't know why it wouldn't work for us.
Mitchell says Ped, Baz and Pib operate at different times to us. They are higher beings. They're not actually late. It's just we can't perceive their time.
There's no such thing as time.
There isn't any
There's no such thing as time.
Mitchell knows.
There's no such thing as time. It's a man-made invention.
I've never seen Watchmen. I can't remember the fellow's name. It's Doctor something.
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. Time doesn't exist to him.
Mitchell says your Italy jacket is mustard, Ped.
Well, of course it is. It's on me.
No fashionista, Pedro.
Yeah. Edward Denham says, enjoyed the podcast, guys. Where was Ped? Ped was sat 6 foot away from us. Couldn't be arsed doing it. Edward.
Criticising my every pen movement.
Nonsense.
Is the truth. So you can say you missed them all you want. He couldn't be bothered.
Nonsense.
Thought he was Hitchcock.
Absolute nonsense.
Dan Martin wants to know, could Benny Beningame step up now?
Not under Marcus Silva because he doesn't play young players. But you've got to consider these options, yeah, why not?
I think Benny Benassi could probably step in, never mind Benny Beningame. Touch me.
He's got a hit in him, hasn't he?
I'll tell you where I was with the podcast. I was over there listening to the sound for quality control. That's where I was because our intern let us down. If he's watching.
I mean, you're making that sound like you really did. But
I did? Wait, what was I doing then?
Oh, you were, but you still...
I was. That's literally what I was doing.
P. Merv says, it sounds like we're next to the ocean. Quite relaxing, really. It could be that.
Do you know what it probably is? If you can hear noise in the background, it's probably the laptop's fan. That's probably what it is. But everything else should be fine now. Should all be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Will Morgan Schneidlin be kept even if we lose them? Oh, sorry, Marco Silva. Sorry. Will Marco Silva be kept even if we lose the next 3 fixtures? No, I don't think he'll be kept if we lose the next fixture, if I'm being honest. Jeffrey Martin says the sound and video was great in Canada. Thank you, mate.
Just in Canada.
Just in Canada. Hey. Dylan Inglesby says JP Gabbaman. I know, Dylan, it's grim news. It's grim news.
We weren't happy before that, to be fair.
David Melling says it's the club's medical staff who were at fault, saying he didn't need surgery in the first place.
Definitely,
And what he said was, if I remember, they hoped they didn't need, and they were gonna. No, I know, but I don't know what the protocols are. Would you
can rehab injuries without surgery? Yeah,
that's what they tried to do. But was
that the right decision? That's the question.
But the point being is, would you send someone for an operation that didn't need an operation?
Potentially not, because some sports stars in the past, Larry Bird said, once you have surgery, you're never the same. So maybe
once you cut someone,
the muscle never repairs the same. That's what he's saying.
So he probably did everything they could to make. And I'm not defending them. I'm just looking from their point of view and thinking they probably did everything they could to make sure that it didn't need an operation. Because once it's an operation, then you've got to factor in the healing time as well.
Unfortunately, we didn't sign Superman, so
well, unfortunately, we didn't do what we said a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, where we said they should have had a young player who was played in the same position to be ready there as well. So,
let's get in. Ian Lyon says Tom Davis played a blinder last night.
It was good, yeah.
And so forget Gabamon for the moment and get him in.
Different types of players, but
yeah. Dylan Inglesby says voice to video is out of sync.
Is it?
Okay, if it is, apologies, but at least you can hear us, can't you?
This is by the way.
Stephen Ashbury said the same thing. Noah Balchin has said Marco out, Mourinho in. Kennick says Silva's a dead man walking.
Good film, Sean Penn.
Bill Cummings says we're trying Davis at DM. Done good for the 21s.
That's a bit of a different side of seeing, like, but it's technological, isn't it?
I know.
You're going to put that in there.
Sophie says, what do you think of the big Tina derby at Goodison on Saturday at half 12?
Oh, yeah, fake Tina.
Fake Tina, yeah. Fake Tina was quite clearly a red, winding everyone up, but fair play to her. John Mack said, didn't time exist when the dinosaurs ruled?
Say that again.
Do you have any watches?
Didn't time exist when the dinosaurs ruled?
Time there's no such thing as time.
It's all relative.
It's a man-made invention. There's no such thing as time. Where's the natural clocks?
Sundials.
Well, who made the sundials?
The Greek gods on Olympus.
Okay.
I'm just going to waffle.
Okay, that's fine.
How can you prove there's no time? I hate when people say stuff like that. Winds me up.
Time's not real.
It's all relative.
It is all well.
Okay. Michael Poole says Silva has to go or we'll go down. It's as simple as that.
Probably not. But
Bina 7 Payne says Richarlison needs to be our number one centre forward. Gylfi needs to be played in centre midfield instead of a second striker.
Does it have to be the field that we're playing on?
And I think that could help set us free. Vaughan Rogers says, hi lads, do you think Lascelles from Newcastle would be a good signing?
He's a good defender, yeah, and he's got athleticism. I was big on him about 7 or 8 months ago, but the more I watched him, the more I realised, and this is why Rafa dropped him a couple of times, he's not very good on the ball, bringing it out from the back. That's why you saw Fernandes and Sharp play more game, and Lejeune got more game time than him. So that's a big issue, because Everton do want to play out from the back now. I know some people don't want us to do that, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, I think the price it costs, you need a more complete player.
Okay, fair enough. The Royal Blue says, when are you going to get Ronnie Goodless back on? When he comes in.
When he's got something to plug.
Yeah.
Isn't he still trying to find the ball that's travelling 45 yards?
He only comes in when he's got something to plug, does Ronnie. But any time he wants is the reality. Alfie Boy 0206 says, Baz Ped Piv, I believe we should scrap the stadium plans. We won't fill it in mid-table or the championship.
That sounds like
we've got it. We can't.
Why are you even responding?
We
to
can't
that?
do that, can we, Alfie? But we can't go. We're not going to fill it. We've got to aim to be as big and as good as we can be to fill it.
I reckon we just double it. Whatever.
Hang on.
Don't respond.
No, I need to respond. What would you do otherwise? How long is Goodison Park going to seriously last? And how long do you think? Put it this way, right? If Sky pulled all the money out and said, "That's it, no more TV money,"
who would make any money?
Right? We'd make no money, but you know who would make money? Man United, Man City, Tottenham, Arsenal, everyone, basically everyone would, because everyone makes money from their stadium. We don't. We make no money from our stadium, and until we do,
it costs us money.
Exactly.
We have to update it every year.
Why do people think like it's what? No, but why do people think that everything is just one lane of traffic? Things can happen on two separate lanes, so you can have the stadium there and the team there. I don't understand this idea of we wouldn't fill it either. Tottenham's already sold out, and we're garbage. So I don't understand this idea that we wouldn't fill it. Of course we'd fill it. And even if we didn't fill it every single week, so what? We still need a new stadium.
At the end of the day, even if you didn't fill it right, at the moment, Goodison the way it is, it's not attractive to away fans.
No, it's not attractive to anyone.
I think if you've got a new stadium, it's attractive to away fans. You fill the away ground stand more, and you get other people wanting to come to the ground because they can actually see when people stand up in the lower bullens. It's just right.
Okay, Nicholas Brown says, genuinely think that Sigurdsson and Coleman need to be dropped. They must feel untouchable, yet still play every game.
The Marcus goes favourites, hasn't he?
Should put Bobby in the centre and put Davis in for a run of games and risk CBB.
Yeah, baby.
Bobby C, 1878 says, if Delph can play left back in an emergency, why can't Tom do likewise at right back?
He probably could, but I'd rather play his best at the best position and get him where we need him. Got Sadiq, who's a World Cup winner. He should be at least given a chance before Tom's played there.
And that's going on to Steve EFC, who says, who's right back on Saturday, lads?
Sadiq, it won't be. Either him or Holgate, they've been two choices, and I think it'll be Sadiq.
Toby B says, any players from West Ham you're worried about on Saturday?
Haaland and Felipe Anderson.
Anderson, I really like him.
Hala?
Yeah, I mean, he scored four,
yeah.
but he's only scored one since August, hasn't he? Which was the goal against Palace, which is a great goal, by the way. I thought that goal for West Ham went massively under the radar
because we lost,
and also because of the way that the winning goal was scored.
Yeah,
I thought that was an absolutely brilliant goal. Listen, Yarmolenko, whether you think he's a good player or not, you give him time on that left foot, and he's dangerous. And we've seen that obviously when we played against them.
Yeah, Roberto had everyone stand 10 yards off.
Yeah. Just let him shoot, lads. It's all right. I'm sure he'll beat a world class keeper from there. I haven't got a world class keeper, lads. So they've got, you know what? West Ham have got good players. They're a little bit like us. They've got good players, but then they're more let down by the bad players. If that makes any sense.
These player formation suits their players more than we do. Though they play like a fluid 4-3-3, 4-1-4-1. It helps their team because then just ask Rice to do what he can only do, which is screen the back four, which we don't make Schneider do that. We make Schneider try and play out.
Interesting. Peaceful Warrior says, I've lost all faith in Silva. It's plain to see he's playing the wrong tactics, players out of place. Isn't anyone at the club telling him? And if so, why isn't he doing anything?
I'd say invest in gold, if I'm honest. If you've lost all faith in Silva, but that's
there you go, it's just you. Mitchell Bolson says, it's like countries, it's just a concept, it's desperate and needs to explain the chaos that is. We're hurtling through space on a water-filled ball.
Exactly. There's no such thing as time.
Okay.
There is no such thing.
Jeffrey Martin.
That's just took 2 seconds of my life for it.
Jeffrey Martin wants to know what's happening with Seamus and red cards, but he keeps getting them.
He fancies a holiday.
There you go. JM says, opinions on the Joker film.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to go and see it then on Sunday.
It's some...
What?
There's 3. And there's
It's tremendous.
I'm going to down a bus. I'm going to see it.
Get a bit of that in your life, then you might say...
Spirit_Blues, evening lads, hope you 3 are well. We were till the Gabama news come on.
I'm still well.
Yeah, I'm still well.
I mean,
it's just
well.
a bit like...
No. Well, man.
It's just a bit like...
I got a packet of them last week, 3 in a bag.
Okay. Sophie Gallagher says Tina's coming to Goodison on
Saturday. She's not. Sophie, she's not. Because she's not a real person.
Blocker.
Gerard Davis wants you to bring him Thanos.
I can't. But, I mean, how would I bring him? I don't know. He's a mad titan. And he's purple.
No. Teeth, no toothbrush, says, does recent success for Liverpool contribute to your growing impatience?
No.
With Silva, or does it have no bearing?
Has no bearing.
Okay.
No, I've always said that we shouldn't concentrate on ourselves. And, you know, we can appreciate Liverpool.
Does genuinely, and people might take this the wrong way, but does Barcelona or Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain or any of their team's success make you feel like
I wish you were Barcelona, to be fair.
Going on the same shit.
No, honestly,
similar values to ours.
Once you eradicate them from your life will be simpler.
I don't follow any Reds on. Do I? No, I don't. Maybe one or two journalists.
And if anything, they seem obsessed with us.
Yeah,
and some of them seem obsessed with
some
me.
of them even pay money to be obsessed with people.
Yeah.
There you go. David Melling says we need a proven manager who has won stuff. I'd have Josie all day long. Travels 466.
Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah. 46649.
That's left field jokes. That's left field jokes.
Says long and depressing 2 week break. I really hope the Blues can show us a bit of pride on Saturday. Our long-suffering fans deserve better. Nightmare about Gabam. Our midfield is paperweight.
It's actually weighed down. That's because it never moves. So yeah, that's a good show.
That's it. Yeah. Lads, do you think we're going to beat West Ham on Saturday? From Stephen Ashbury.
Yes. I'm banned for making predictions.
We are. Do you think we will? Okay. Do you? You don't think it'll score. Do you think we'll win?
Yes.
Okay. Will M says, I don't think sacking Silva is the option, as I've seen in other cases. It hasn't worked. Players are being lazy and having a lack of want to play. You know what, Will? There is a bit in that. The players do have to take responsibility. It's dead easy to just go, it's his fault. Or it's his fault. and not me. But as players, you've got to stand up and be confident, do everything, make sure you give everything. If you lose because the manager's picked the wrong team, or you lose because he's give you a type of tactics that haven't been the right ones, then the finger goes to him. But you've got to do your bit. Bill Cummins has decided Everton are cursed. Could have told you that, Bill, a while ago, and be honest. Carl Court, not the Wimbledon one, but he might be, says, you've only just decided that, Bill, in response to Bill Cummins' awakening that we are cursed. P. Murph says, what do you see Silva changing this week, boys? Apart from that,
Gomez.
what should be done?
I think Gomez and Steve will come in, that'll be the same as.
Okay.
I don't mean to be negative, but that's just how I feel at the moment.
Ped, what do you think he might change?
His undies.
You sure that they're all
Now,
rigid ones?
anyone who asked where Ped was for the podcast, this is what he's been in all day, this kind of mood.
Huddersfield got
Being a
better.
7, Huddersfield got the best and the worst. Being a 7 Payne said, hey Ped, we saw you running with your dog on Sunday. What's its name?
Loki.
Dave.
Fred.
Huddersfield.
Marco is his real name, that's why he's got a comment. Sophie Gallagher says, we'd fill out Bramley-Moore dock capacity, needs to be 60,000. Okay.
I understand why Mike's wants it less for now. I do understand the logic, but I'd rather us go big first. But it's me.
Kieran Forsyth agrees we're definitely cursed. Bill's depressed and says we need a win on Saturday. It won't be easy. Don't think there's any easy games, mate, for us. EFC lad says, alright lads, what time do you reckon Silva goes after the game or Monday? I think if we lose, he'll be sacked on Sunday.
9 o'clock before match of the day, so we can announce the match of the day.
I think it might be Monday.
Do you?
Yeah, I hope so.
Just let the weekend go so we can
Monday around 1:30 when we're in here.
That'd be
perfect.
I think we're going to win and he won't be sacked, so it's fine.
Straight to live.
Jason says, incompetence by the board again, not sacking Silva. Any other team with top 6 ambitions would have been their manager now.
I understand why Everton don't want to be another manager. Probably military as well, because the things that you'd be looking at, what, 4.5 million probably.
Yeah, but
no, it's not. No, I agree, but I think Marcel probably thinks, I don't really want to sack a manager at this point, but at the end of the day, it's not good enough.
Okay. What's this space? 82 says, who'd win a fight, Piv or Superstato? Piv, all day long.
No, he bore me to death. I fall asleep in 3 minutes. He's absolutely boring.
I don't know how the same person could fight himself.
Imagine if it really was him. Be incredible.
No, he is a weird stalker of a man. But all joys to him, he's obviously got a passion in his life, being guilty of Sigurdsson. If that's your passion, then go for it. I support you.
Paul Hewitt heard that Marino turned us down last week. There you go.
He's definitely turned it Leon down in a text message, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, very weird. Steve EFC says, do you think Silva will be Portugal manager next after Martinez and Koeman are both international managers now?
They've got 10 better managers than the Portuguese. So
I just couldn't see Ronaldo working on them.
Oscar G.
I had 700 goals, and then you came, and now I've only got 695.
Oscar Duke says Silva needs to change the system, but I guarantee he won't. Brian Moore says, do you think Silva will change the formation Saturday after all the talk of his job being on the line?
No.
Okay, Thomas Stone says, how long do you give Silva when we lose on Saturday?
10 minutes.
There's a lot of positivity.
10 minutes to clean his bags out.
EFC lad would rather have nits on his bollocks than follow a red. Okay. Ped, Einstein's theory of relativity states that time and space are not as constant as everyday life would suggest. With that in mind, why are they called M&Ms? Shouldn't they just be called M's? That's from Glenn Watson. Glenn's coming out with the questions.
I think maybe what happened there was,
baby,
that if you think of there are 2 different versions of M&Ms. There are the peanut and the full chocolate, and they're both called M's, so it's M and M's.
Correct.
Whereas it was just one variation of the flavour, it was just
wasn't
M's.
it originally? The yellow was the original.
So I mean, I've literally
solved it.
Solved the problem.
That was Blue Crispy ones.
Bobby C says, if there's no such thing as times, why do we sing if you know your history?
Because there is such thing as history. What's passed before, without time being relative.
Okay. Toby B wants to know what the ultimate biggest Everton sliding doors moment is.
Ultimate biggest?
Yeah, ultimate biggest.
Muller not signing in 94.
Sliding door. I'd probably.
Hazel.
I was going to say it might have something to do with Belgium in '85.
That was more of a war, wasn't it?
but it was still that was still a thing, wasn't it? That was the biggest thing, I'd say that. Well, I mean, the fact that two world wars broke out when they were champions is a bit weird.
I suspect the fans, I think the players might have felt upset about the Titanic going as well. Tick that box against us as well. Any other disasters that might have been...
The sliding doors moment was Heysel.
Because it changed our future.
It changed everything. So, Tashi Swiss, EFC 1878. If Silver plays the same system on Saturday, I don't think I'll bother watching. Also, how much more does Schenk need to do to get game time?
Probably not salute someone.
Yeah, and he's injured now apparently anyway.
I'd park him while that goes over.
Well, he's injured anyway, so it's irrelevant. Thomas Stone says, more importantly, bourbons, not bourbon, but we might all be on the bourbon on Saturday. Bourbons or custard creams. Well, I ate custard creams when I was sick as a kid and I can't eat them. I've never had another one since.
Bourbons.
But bourbons.
Gotta be bourbons.
Get in.
So you've got like a dark history with custard creams then?
It's just terrible. The thought actually is making me feel sick now. You know, when you vomit, when you've had something. Oh.
You always remind me of those jumpers your nan knitted you when you were a kid.
Very woolly.
EFC lad, I'm not going in if it's 4-2-3-1. You
will.
said this when Everton put it out. Put it as like 4-3-3.
Just change the formation.
Just change the way the thing is. 3-5-2, and then it doesn't matter till you're in. Just play 3 at the back. Sound this.
Just put the wrong team.
You should just drop.
Just put the wrong team out.
It should be shorter.
Put the wrong team out.
Mitchell Balson says, we all know Brands' position on value in the January market, but will it be a fruitless January market border on neglect?
No, I think you'll see Everton look at the defender definitely. I don't know whether we'll look at any other positions. It also depends on if we can get rid of any of the dross still there. Hopefully Chantos and hopefully no money. Well, we're not going to get rid of it. Actually, just feeding us. We've got 6 months left in this deal, I think. And hopefully Lisbon think, Organic Glass, not bad,
Bill Cummins says Marco Bronze, one of Andy's.
Thank you.
Michael Poole says West Ham coming to Goodison on Saturday, absolutely rubbing their hands together with a golden opportunity. Collect points.
Well, I've said this. Like, if you look at Pellegrini's watched Everton, he thinks, I know this is exactly how they're going to play. So, you know, if Marco surprises him, then it may be a good thing, but I doubt he is going to
AJ No says, and your answers in your thing.
AJ treats you live and down.
Can a Scouser like Boris Johnson?
No.
No, many reasons actually.
Yeah. Glenn Watson says, question to the three of us. What single movie have you seen most times?
Jaws.
Is Empire Strikes Back.
Mine is Jaws. Or Usual Suspects.
The Bourne Identity.
Get out. Who says that's the most film you've ever watched?
It's a brilliant film. Absolutely amazing. They're all brilliant. All of them.
I'm sure.
Walk out the door. Don't turn around though.
No, you're not welcome anymore. Tony D says, if we sack Silva, the fourth manager, could there be something else wrong within the club? Yes.
Well, there is systemic, isn't it? The fans have got a role to play as well.
Thomas Stone wants to use the assistant manager because of all your stats.
No, they've got. Honestly, Everton have got a really great data team. They have, honestly. It's just that the manager, I don't think, uses it correctly.
Rice is out. This is from Matt Devereux. Rice is out of form. Play Gomez in the midfield 3 and overrun him and Noble. Not run over. That's
what I was going to say.
Put the curry over his Rice. That's what you want to do.
Why would Marco Silva? I'm guessing that's not your name.
Marco Copper.
Why would Marco buy a defender when we haven't been scoring?
Because you need, at the end of the day, you need that solidity at the back, and at the moment, we'd be getting better results if we had a pair of centre halves who actually complement each other.
You've got to
at least get a draw or two. You know what I mean?
You've got to have the confidence that if you don't go behind, that you can win the game.
There's certain games that if we hadn't conceded at certain points because of bad mistakes or poor decisions by defenders, then we'd still be in games and you never know the outcome. We are terrible on attack.
Nicholas Brown wants to know, if we clean a vacuum cleaner, do we become a vacuum cleaner? Suppose you would, wouldn't you?
No.
If you cleaned it, you're cleaning a vacuum cleaner.
Well, why wouldn't you just become a brush?
Why couldn't you get a chamois ladder?
Yeah, why wouldn't you be a brush?
Well, if you're cleaning the vacuum cleaner,
are you sucking up the vacuum cleaner?
The vacuum?
But you're not sucking up the vacuum cleaner, are you?
But couldn't I just say, well, I don't identify as a vacuum cleaner.
He could say that, he was just asking
as a brush.
Well, more apparently he wants to be a brush, mate.
Or a hand brush.
Joseph C says, where are the Jaffa cakes today? We haven't got any. Ped's got sweets hidden away somewhere. I know the drawer's open, so I don't know whether he's had some or whether Tom's found them.
No, I had some. I mean, I expect them in front of you.
What ones
The bottle tops, you don't like them.
Hey,
well, there you go, then!
Tom watching, because did you know you stole your quiz?
Yeah.
Who, Tom?
I mean, Kieran Forsyth says, do you think we'll end up with Sahara in January? No, they're going for Champions League. Johnny Hodson says, even gents don't want to bring the move further down, but what should happen to Cenk? He's injured.
We just go on the podcast, actually, if you want to go listen to the podcast.
Carl Court says, would you sign Giroud in January?
Oh,
I'd sign Carl Court.
Sign him.
Wimbledon.
I'd sign him, and I'd chuck him up in bed. That's what I'd do.
He'd make the team so much slower.
Oh, I don't give a monkey. Could it be any slower?
Yeah.
He'd score goals. He's amazing.
John Smith, our Everton case, yes. Jason, after seeing how our fans react to each other on Twitter, can see there being full-on scraps in the stands when we're 3-0 down at half-time.
Full Britain.
Probably will be.
It'd be like that scene in the Kings when we're in that church and they're just absolutely...
Have you seen the Trump version of that video?
No.
Have you not?
No.
I'll send you it. It's horrific.
Jake Welsh says, would Keane and Calvert-Lewin be a good partnership?
Keane and Kel?
Yeah. Keenan and Kel.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Jack Welsh. Would Keenan... Stop it. Would Keane and Calvert-Lewin be a good partnership?
Yeah, they could.
Sorry, Jack.
With the right players around, yeah, you get something out of them, yeah. I'd take Hudson.
I thought he'd maybe said something else. I was going to say, I'm getting a word. Johnny Hodson says, also, peanut M&Ms are the only M&Ms.
Correct.
When you do the rhythm and blues, the musicians view Toffee TV special, and I'm on as a guest, I'll bring you loads.
Rhythm and blues.
So you do rhythm and blues. Johnny, if you do, come in and we'll do it.
What's rhythm and blues?
Music.
Yeah, R&B. Yeah,
the musicians do.
We play two kinds
Johnny,
of music
if you do that,
rhythm
in a band,
and blues.
Come in.
You just got these like mad shows that you do. One said Blue Moon, which is a song.
Yeah, you need to do some. Footy.
What's the best use of Blue Moon ever in a film?
What?
What's the best use of Blue Moon ever in a film?
Jimmy Grimble?
There's only one answer to this. No, there's only one answer to this question, and I was testing you, and you haven't got it right. American Werewolf in London.
Oh, isn't that? Yeah, right.
The very
What's
end.
What's the pub called?
Disclosed last.
Stelio Contos has said, oh, hello, Ped, nice you to show up.
I mean, that's...
He's watched the pod, he knows the podcast.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm behind the camera making the magic.
Some of our parts
the magic happen. Honest, I am making magic happen behind the scenes.
John Mack has asked why it's £4.20 for a bottle of Carling. Is it to pay for the new stadium?
We really actually, when we get to the new stadium, can we get some beer?
Why would anyone drink Carling, by the way?
It's actually alright out of the bottles compared to the Shank crap we used to drink.
Taste of.
Stephen Cowley thinks we'll beat West Ham 3-1, but only with Bernard in the team. Tashi_Swissy FC 1878 says, what do you think of Morales' dig at Allardyce?
I liked it.
Any dig at Allardyce is a dig. That's
I thought it was a very good interview by Paddy Boylan. I mean, check out more in The Athletic. There's a link below.
Ian Lyons has said, after Ped said about staying positive on Tuesday topic, I've tuned in and everyone's being negative.
It's Gabama.
The only thing I've been negative about is time. I've got it down on time.
Glenn Watson's hit the nail on the head. 250 people watching and 6 likes. I mean, massively lazy.
Or just the general feeling.
Or you just don't like it. Well, what are you watching for then? You don't like it? Sure, there's other channels you can go and watch.
No, there isn't. Are you mad?
Are you mad?
You're actively set. Right, let's do some Patreon.
Go on. These have stopped liking it, so they're not getting any more read out.
Patreon.
We're all going on.
Kane says, can't see him coming back from this injury now. He just reminds me of Mendy. So Kane's keeping the positive.
Kane's massively positive.
Dave Wild says, I think we'll know at 11:30 on Saturday morning whether Nico Silva has a future. Also, as I'm in Portugal on Saturday, I sold mine and my son's seats on StubHub for £30. I was shocked and disgusted to see a normal ticket on sale for £110. What are your thoughts? If anyone pays at £110 to watch Everton on Saturday, then...
If you'd like to sit in the stand, though, with like an execution outfit of Marco Silva, by all means.
Jack Collins says, if there is a managerial change, I think Jose would be ideal. Speaks Italian, Moise Keane. Speaks Portuguese as mother tongue. Rich Bernard Gomez gets teams defensively organised and achieves results.
Sounds great.
For 6 years, we've been a team lacking character who wilt when we go behind and lose big games over and over again. Chelsea 2009, Liverpool 2012, Manchester United 2016. I imagine Farhad is looking at the option seriously. Bill Cummings says, Gabama out for another 3 months. Why didn't they do the surgery at the start? I can't. Hack Morgan has to be dealt alongside the Wobie. Couple about the sound, but they're from ages ago. Stephen Hill says, "Hey, thanks, Andy, for recommending the Revisionist History podcast. It's been great.
Makes you smarter.
One of the issues is not using underarm free throws in basketball.
Correct.
Is there a football equivalent? Is there something simple that footballers could do to instantly improve results?"
Do you honestly, I'd have to think about that. But
i.e. smashing penalties down the middle.
What it is they actually worked out the thrown underarm actually is statistically you're more likely to succeed at your free throws. And when Will Chamberlain went...
Will Chamberlain?
1960s player. Went underarm for a season. He averaged over 50 points in that season, which is the highest ever by 15 points. So, hold on. Go on. So, when they went around and asked people why they don't do underarm, because they said it's like your grandma
grandma style?
Yeah.
Like Will Ferrell in semi-pro?
Yeah. The only person who ever did it was also a Hall of Famer called Rick Barry in the 70s. So the only two people who've ever done it successfully in the big time have actually been successful with it, and no one else will do it. It's like a mystery.
Owen Park says, "I will not be mocked over Dyche. He's a cut above." He genuinely said
cut above the relegation zone.
Yeah. I mean, we're one to talk, aren't we? Kane says, "Need 2 centre midfielders now rather than 1 in January. Needs a loan. Davis out too.
But I'll leave us
if this manager is staying around." Also, question for the Piv: what centre midfielder would you go for? Do you think Pep would loan Foden now for 6 months?
No, he's a 10 more than he's a centre midfielder. We need someone who's box to box. Probably, I'd say obviously Ducouré was an option. Going on 27 now. It depends what Marcel Brands considers. Someone like that, like a Frank Kessie.
Kessie won't.
Yeah, he's a good player. Just someone who adds power, pace, and creativity.
They want to. They have to sell as well in January.
Well, he blew the free season up there, didn't he?
Yeah. Adam Galloway says, "Will all of you be fuming if Snarling starts Saki?"
It's inevitable. He won't play. It'll be Gomez and Delph. Oh no, Delph might be injured.
Thor Martinson says, "At what point will the atmosphere for Silver at Everton become too toxic? Like our 3 former bosses
2 weeks ago."
No, I don't think it was toxic. It was just...
It's getting toxic now.
It was just... I don't know. I haven't seen it. I mean...
You spent a lot of time with Steve Adesolo. It's a cool and calm.
If we lose on Saturday, I think it'll go up another level. That's my opinion.
You, Tildesley and Preno.
Mixed with the big boys, you know what I mean? Owen Park scenes when Marco registers Cuco Martino and plays him. Adam Galloway, would you give up on older youth players, Dowell, Benny, Connolly, and bring in a lot of the younger players into the under-23s and push more players like Gibson, Gordon into the first team?
Yes.
I wouldn't give up on Ben.
I wouldn't give up on them. I think they should have been on loans years ago. We've done a lot of videos on we did podcasts for the week on it. Pathways is very important. And
Terry Cook says, "All right, lads, nice to get in from work and talk Everton. After having to listen to lads at work talk Leeds all day. Has there been any Gbamin updates? Have the club confirmed Gbamin?"
Yes, it's full. Yeah,
go for 3 months.
Full mistake.
Dave Wild says, "There's no such thing as time? How come you say it's time to finish after an hour or so of live at 5?
Ended you there
because there is there is no such thing as time, but you have to follow the constraints of the public. Do you know what I mean?
We're worried about your time. Yeah. You might
exactly, and we've got to go with your beliefs. We've got to go with your beliefs.
Time is money.
We'll be seen as timist. Lucas says the 4 stages of organisational change. Okay. I don't know where he's going with that because he said nothing else. T Logic says thoughts on Gbamin being out for another 3 months. Said that. Simon Rouse says even all
T Logic's got a good, by the way, good blog if anyone wants to check
gutted about Gbamin. Now we need to put up with Morgan even long. We don't. Schneidlin shouldn't be in the team. Shouldn't be in the team.
Delph's out.
Anyway,
so's
stop it! Stop it! If I didn't like this cup, I'd throw it.
You told me. It's all don't bang the table.
That's different. That's a podcast, Mike. That's a podcast. It's like Sunny Day.
Hey, podcast.
Kate Reynolds says, according to the law of infinite probability, somewhere a universe exists where Everton, our boss, and Liverpool are in the Championship. Kate, I agree. Also, in that universe, a extra box of Canadian snacks will be arriving for the versions of this Toffee TV. But that's in a different.
Never even tasted.
That's in a different universe. I'm just saying.
All sorts, licorice.
All sorts. Canadian snacks are the best snacks.
Stevie FC says, guys, would you rather City or Liverpool won the league? Thomas Stone's putting a tenner on Yarmolenko to score the winner.
That's a good money.
Jason says, unlikely as it is, should Silva win the next 4 games on the run, but Andy still wants him gone?
If he wins the next 4 games, then yeah. But what I'm going to say to that is that maybe it's inevitable that we're going to run. It's another patch of this kind of.
But would you still want him gone?
That's. Do you know what? I'd say no, and the reason I'd say no is I don't want to be someone who can't change their mind. So I'd say no.
Okay. Martin Edwards says I can't like it if you don't read my question. I haven't seen your question, Martin. So
whoa! Hang on. We're not here to read out your question. We're here to provide entertainment.
Yeah. Everyone paused.
This is not a call. This is not a phone in. Yet.
Yes.
This is not a phone in. We are here for the whole of the entertainment. You know, the spectrum of entertainment. So you can't just be going, I didn't get my pounds worth, my like worth, my big thumb worth.
What?
If you're here and you're watching, you should be clicking the like.
So I have some film questions instead of having
AFC lad says, do you reckon Dunk versus Bowen Morty would sell out the Echo?
I reckon it would, yeah. But it has to be in like barbed wire, exploding time bomb situation like you used to have in the 90s.
Falls count anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Falls count anyway.
Dunk with a pile driver off the top rope.
Sam Gooding wants to ask you, the pivot, do assistant managers have a big impact on a club, or is it undermined? Because it's clear Pedro Sousa was a talented coach and Bowen Morte has limited experience.
It can do. If you look at the assistant managers, like you go back to the 80s, and I don't want to go too long here, but Peter Taylor was certainly a great influence on Brian Clough out.
But he found the players.
He found the players, and Brian Clough was the motivator and the coach. So sometimes they work simpatico, but sometimes Alex Ferguson. Sometimes with Alex Ferguson, he was at the ability to change his assistants and get results. So it depends on the situation. Marcus Silva's never worked with anyone else other than Joe Pedro, who's been doing great in Pamela, which are a good.
I think on that, I don't think it's just about coaching. I think it's about being a sounding board. I think it's about having someone that'll tell you you're wrong, and you're prepared to take it because you know that fella's got your back. We've seen that in the City documentary that Pep has a water polo coach, but it's just his mate. But he knows that he can turn around and go, "You're wrong here." Whereas we won't always take that from people who are, just acquaintances or someone we just work with. But if someone you know and is a friend of yours says this, and I think you're not bang out of order here. No, or I think you'll go. You'll take that more than you would if anyone else took it. So I think that's sound.
The thing is though, the Bowen Morte wasn't forced upon Marcus Silva. He made that choice. So he's I don't know whether he obviously knows Bowen Morte from his time at Sporting. He's under 19 coach, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So that's on him if it's not the right fit.
Okay. Eugene McGeever says, "Do you think Everton are going backwards under Marco Silva?"
No, I don't think we're going backwards. I think the squad's been taken to another level. It's just the margins.
Bobby C says, even if we win on Saturday, isn't it just a stay of execution for Silva?
Potentially.
No, really. I mean, like you said before, if he won the next 4 games,
then yes. But then for me, I'd still say
he'd be buying himself time, though, wouldn't he?
I was to say he has to show threads of change and show us little biscuits and crumbs that we follow. No.
Lucas says the 4 stages of organisational change: 1, a case for change; 2, a compelling picture of the future; 3, a sustained capacity to change; 4, a credible plan to execute. This is the process that the All Blacks use to become the best rugby team in the world. What is our plan to become the best? That's a bit deep, isn't it?
Well, the All Blacks ended up with 22
What's
world-class players. Also 30 world-class players.
Well, no, but
they planned.
No, but it's easy at national level when you're not playing every single week.
I think that's one of the big gripes with Silva going off a message like that is the fact that none of us still seem to know what its base level is. Paul came in yesterday from the Redmen and obviously loading it up, loving it big time. And he said, well, when Klopp came in, the first thing he installed was hard work. And he said, no matter how Liverpool played, you got hard work. And then he instilled another layer and another layer and another layer. And what he instilled in the players, but also in the fans, was getting used to what people should expect from their team. And I don't know now, and we're in the middle of October going into a game on Saturday, what to expect from my team. I don't, but I don't know what the plan is. I don't know whether we're a pressing team. I don't know how we play. There's so many things that I still haven't got a clue about because the manager hasn't gone, this is the way we play. Maybe his plan is 4-2-3-1, but he said that wasn't his plan. So if you're gonna If you're going to come in and do something, you come in and you own it. And I don't think he's owned anything. I think that's a big problem.
Tony Johnson says, remember lads, magic happens in front of the camera. Royal Blue said, what happened to you doing interviews outside Goodison after a game?
Why would you want interviews?
Never done that. Live a Vid says, I honestly don't think he's the right man, yet I would not wish the worst on the club just to see him out.
No, I wouldn't.
Same, I would never want to spend such
no chance.
David Ellis says, is it time for Holgate instead of Keane?
You could try.
Yeah,
what happens then? What happens then is if we do lose a game, Holgate takes the brunt of it. It's very difficult, man. It's tough, that one.
But then that's an interesting one because it's dead easy to say, oh, this, I wouldn't change that. And then you stop and think and go, Michael Keane doesn't deserve to be in the Everton team.
No,
he doesn't deserve to be in the Everton team. If there was another player, then he wouldn't be in the Everton team.
Yeah, Zuma was on the bench.
No, he would. Zuma and Mina should have played last season.
Tashi_Swiss EFC 1878 says, Andy surprised me with his NBA knowledge. What team do you support? Spurs all the way for him. Back in the days when Robin used to be a Spurs.
Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
Larry Bird fan.
There you go. The EFC lad wants to know, is it more impressive to be able to throw a shoe over a building or to win blockbusters?
Win blockbusters. Especially if you're on your... Why in blockbusters was it 2 against 1?
Do you know my theory?
You had only to answer 4 questions.
Do you know my theory?
Go on.
Do you want to be more impressive than that? Catching a squirrel bare-handed. You make the front page of the Echo. Who have you ever seen that's caught a squirrel bare-handed?
Who have I ever wanted to see catch a squirrel? There's a squirrel comes from our garden.
Catch a bare-handed, but impress me.
But it's got to be on film.
So we've got to set a camera.
No. You tell your wife that you've got to go and catch a squirrel
bare-handed. No. You set the camera up, let her catch the squirrel.
Yeah. There you go. Catch a squirrel bare-handed, someone impress me.
Is there, Toby B wants to know if there's a PS4 game you are yet to play but you really want it.
Games Odyssey.
No.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
No, there is. Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh, on the PS4.
No, there isn't. I always make sure I get the games I want. I don't, I'm not someone who has loads of games, but I always make sure I get the games I want.
You take a mutation for a 5.
Sure, you still play Sega.
Eclectic Octopus wants to know
Eclectic Octopus?
Yes, whether we should use loans more than permanent to avoid flops.
The loan model now, because you have to pay fee for loans, no, it's dead money really. And basically, say for example, you did take 3 or 4 loans on a year where you're developing with people's players. You'd rather own those players so you could then sell them on. So no, it's not a good model.
Thoughts on Kiki Setien, Real Betis as a candidate for us?
He's got sacked. Very open. Like, great football, great movements off the ball, but very open at the back. You can see too many goals. Don't get me wrong, Kiki Setien's a really good manager, but I don't think he's the right fit for Everton. I think the fans are pulling their hair out.
The internet's been a bit of a dick, by the way. Now and again it's just
lagging.
Just doing a little bit of lag, so you might get a bit of spinning. That's the internet.
Glenn Watson says who's the best player per position in the Prem currently. Best defender, Van Dijk. Yeah. Best midfielder.
Best midfielder. If you're going to include Kevin De Bruyne, but N'Golo Kante maybe.
Best striker.
Someone, isn't it? Sergio Aguero.
There you go. Andy Lancaster says, my wife and kids have banned me from watching Cool Runnings because I know the words and talk.
Is that team in Wales?
Who?
My wife and kids.
Oh, God.
You don't get any reference.
Because I'm reading, I'm not even listening to what you started saying.
Come on.
Luke McCarthy says, if Coleman's replaced in the summer, do you think this team will lose much needed leadership?
No. What leadership?
This is what I struggle with people sometimes, is that leadership, you can basically, you see your players, so when you signed Dean, he was 25, then after 2-3 years, 28, they grow into leaders. This is what happens naturally as part of the team building process.
If you allow them.
Jason says, with Mashiri's continued investments, could we win the league in the next 5 years?
No. Set a tall order, but potentially.
Whether we do is a massively different
I'd say no, but maybe.
I'd settle for progress first.
I'd settle for second.
I'd settle for not getting relegated.
Oh, come on,
Gary, I think we're crap, mate. Honestly, I think we're crap.
This is why we end up with Allardyce, because people jump the gun, though.
He does it every year.
I'm not bothered. I think it's not about panicking. It's about looking at the team and going.
Do you like the team?
No, I just think it's massively unbalanced. Where all over. We haven't got a proper centre forward. We haven't. We haven't. No, we haven't. We haven't got a proper centre forward. We've not got someone you can hang your hat on to score goal. That's why I'd like Giroud, because I think he's someone that if you put over half of those crosses in, he'd find the back of the net. We need a third senior centre back. We need more energy in midfield that we haven't got. So this 3 straight away. We need another right back.
But you can't do that all in one summer, though. That's the problem. A manager should be able to get the best out of what he's got. This manager can't.
I think we've had more than one summer. I'm just telling you why I think. I don't think we're a very good team. I think we've got good players. I think we're a very good team. I also look at the attitude of some players and just think
not
enough players actually care. I just don't. Gary Ward says, just as I was enjoying a break from football, the American national team sleepwalked through a match with Canada, and now the Gabama news. USA got beat 2-0 last night with Canada.
Alfonso Davis scored.
Canada's got some good players too. Jonathan David.
Do you know whose fault that is, though? Do you know whose fault that is, though, Gary? And I'm not being I don't want to be too critical here, but about 4 or 5 years ago, American fans were lauding the fact that America were winning the Gold Cup and stuff. And I remember making a suggestion and saying, why don't they do what Australia did and move and go into the South American section and start playing tougher sides? And what happened was, because America were playing crap most of the time, every 4 years you got a World Cup, of course, but they were getting dragged down. So you missed out on the last World Cup. Now you've got a crop of players that are just garbage.
No.
Oh, they are. They're garbage. No, they're not. They're garbage. There's about 2 or 3 that are good.
4 or 5.
Well, they're garbage, right?
I
can't say that. They're garbage, and what'll happen is they'll get... No, but on Saturday, they were all lauding the fact... Well, some of them were lauding the fact that they beat Cuba 7-0. And then wonder why 4 days later they get beat, and that's the problem.
Never beat Mexico.
That's the problem. Well, that's the problem, though. You've got to play more teams of a higher standard to get better.
True.
And that's what America should have done a few years ago. Also, the ludicrous thing is the guy who's in charge, the person the person who needs to sack him needs to ask the permission of his brother.
Yeah, which is stupid. He should never have been appointed.
Get the likes up as well, by the way. I'm ordering, would the panel trust the board to make another decision? Yeah.
I trust Marcel Brands because he's done it in the past. I would not. Farhad Mashiri, no, because of what we've seen. And Bill Kenwright, he employed David Moyes, wouldn't
he? Maybe. Sam Gooding says, why do you think Silva has not changed to his much desired 4-3-3? Yeah. And do you think he's scared to drop Sigurdsson?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he hasn't played it because he doesn't think he can play well energy in the midfield. I think that's...
He has got energy in the midfield.
But he doesn't think he's got energy. He doesn't perceive that he's got it. So
Eugene McGeever thinks we need to go back to the dogs of war. Stewie,
but we haven't got anything.
No, but I was saying to Baz before, you could go back to basics and try just to get a bit of base level, as you said before. But he hasn't even tried that. So...
Mad. Stewie 1987 IFY says... play Bernard through the middle with Keane and DCL up front.
Why would you play Iwobi when he's played with 10 more than Bernard?
I just think people think Bernard can play in there. I do, personally, but I think he's better. Minutes. I think he's better with Dean at the moment. CJ Julian says if Silva gets sacked, I prefer Mikel Arteta. Arsenal almost poached him from Man City, but I think he's a better fit for Everton.
He could be, because I think the fans are back him in a lot of ways. So I think Ped's made that assertion a few times, but in the sense that the fans will get behind him because he is an ex-Everton player and they have that link with the club. So maybe that's a good idea. But I don't know if he'd leave mid-season. Maybe he would. Maybe he wouldn't.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Maybe he would, because as Baz said before, that it's an opportunity you can't turn down.
That goes back to what you were saying before about would you leave Silva in there? Because I honestly think that if Silva left, I think we'd only get a replacement until the summer. David Moyes. But so you look at it like that, you think, well, if what's the point of getting a replacement in if Silva wins enough games to keep his head above water? If you're only going to bring a replacement in and he's with, you know what I mean? What's the point?
I wouldn't like it to see one.
Stephen Carby says he thinks Siggy should be sold.
I think his time at Everton is limited. I don't know whether you can afford to sell him just now. Until we get a replacement in or better, then you need to still involve him in the first team, because at times he does show quality. It's just he's an odd fit at times.
What if next summer Swansea came up?
I can't comment on that.
Mal Young says, do you reckon it's safe to say no game will be called off at Goodison due to racism?
I don't know what the protocols are in the. I don't.
Honest with you, as far as I'm aware of Goodison now, if people did do stuff like that, the fans would attack them. The fans would throw them out. We've seen it.
I don't know what does that protocol go into Premier League games?
I think there is protocol for it.
Dalsbeck has said, Baz, you forgot to dye your hair. Jokes. Glenn Watson says, this is a good one. Glenn Watson says, would you rather be a member of the Mare-Free Brood, Night Folk, or a Liverpool season ticket? Liverpool Sports Club, rather.
What? Say those two again.
Mare-Free Brood.
Mare-Free, what's that?
What's Red Dead? And things that grab you. Them.
Oh, they're just
the Night Folk, or Liverpool
Who's the Night Folk?
I think if you were in it, weren't you? You know what I mean?
Being Liverpool Sports
Club. What would you rather choose?
I'm saying if you're in an incestual gang, that's what being a Liverpool fan is being.
Okay. Royal Blue 1878 said, would Schneiderlin work in the team he was playing in the 3?
If he had that Rice's role, where his only role is to get rid of the ball as soon as he gets it and cover the back two, then he'd be fine. But he's asked to play much more than that. And basically, you don't need a Schneiderlin if you're trying to break a team down.
He wouldn't get it. Paul Hewitt's keen as a proper centre forward.
He is, thank you very much.
Yeah. But he's head's massively wrong.
But he's not though. But he's not a proper centre forward.
Because your definition of proper centre forward.
No.
Is Sergio Aguero?
No, because he's 19 years of age.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Mbappe's one of the world's best players.
This is for you.
Hang on, he's 19, right? He's played a lot of the time wide, and he hasn't got a.
I'll get you the minutes.
He hasn't got a track record as yet of scoring goals. What I'm saying is,
64 starts this season.
You can't pin your hopes on a 19-year-old lad. You can't. You just can't. You can't. You need some experience.
If you play to his strengths, though, you could have him in Dom and you get 15 goals between the two in this season, which is all we need, really, let's be honest.
JM wants to know favourite Instagram account.
Oh God, this is going to be interesting.
Abigail Battery.
I mean, I thought he was going to try and dress it up. He didn't.
He's trying to undress it up?
No, he just answered it. Phil McBoobs wants to know, is the manager getting the best out of what he's got? In his opinion, he's making an arse of himself.
If he is getting the best out of it, we're in real trouble.
I think
that's the maximum, then what's the lowest?
I think Everton have got a very good squad. I think there's a couple of holes in it without a shadow, but I still think it's very good. It's better than most of the teams after.
If David Moyes had this team in 2008,
yeah,
then you'd be the easy top 4 team.
Top 4 without a shadow, without this under Moyes, no problem.
Yeah, it's work with less.
John Galv, which American player would you want at Everton? It's a pet. Which American player would
Winston McKennie, midfielder. I think he's fantastic.
Pulisic?
No, he's
the other kid, Josh Stinghill.
Josh Sargent. Who's younger than what's the?
I think he meant Robinson.
No, but I think he's got so much patience.
Winter Brennan definitely should play him more. Right, Paxton Ponycal, by the way.
That's not a good person.
Plays for Dallas.
Phil McBooth says if he plays the same team he's played for the last few weeks, somebody should be asking him if he wants to be sacked.
As Saped said, they should just put out like a really random lineup, including Andy Gray.
But that's what we
just for fun.
Have at the Big Show.
Bumblebee on the
Farage on the right.
Maybe he's got some ice in the box.
Ian Lyon says bring in Gordon, Davis and Gibson on the bench. Oh no, bring them and bench the lazy life-sucking leeches who got their wages.
Marco's already on the bench.
Okay. Will Moore says 4-4-2 with Richarlison and Keane up front. Iwobi on the right, Bernard on the left, Gomez and Delph in the middle.
Go ahead, do it. So let's try it.
I'm all day with
some
that.
Firepower.
Christian Kiss says Everton 2 or West Ham 1. That's his tip. Tom Walsh wants to know your favourite Beatles member is?
John Lennon. He was cool. The rest are not that cool. I like George Harrison saying that. It's not really a star.
This is your favourite Beatle.
Who best?
Mark
Yoko.
Mark Waddington, is Tosin going to start? No, he's injured. And he wouldn't anyway. John Chadwick, guys, do you think the 4-2-3-2 formation would work with us better? Then that is 11. That's 12 players. So yeah, I think it would. I think we'd have a better opportunity.
Saying gives an advantage.
Liveovid says, do you think Silver has tried to run before he can walk? Should we sack him? We need tried and trust the people.
I think the walk and pace in midfield suggests no.
Get Rafa.
Simon Rouse says you can't beat peanut butter M&M's, lads.
Oh God, man.
Here you go. Joe Max says a pet.
Joe Max.
Joe Max.
American.
He says a pet hate of yours.
A pet hate.
Yeah.
People are really arrogant. as it sounds.
Disrespectful people.
I feel like both of you are looking at me.
Because we're an answer.
Mine is people who hate the world.
Stephen Ashbury said didn't seem a problem for 19-year-old Michael Owen at Liverpool.
Did not?
No, because
he wouldn't have played. Ped wouldn't
no,
have
no,
wanted him
I
in the
would
team.
because he could score goals.
So
this is the point, but he hasn't.
How do you know
I'm
that,
not having a go at him. What I'm saying is he's clearly not ready.
It sounds like you're having a
But Michael Owen,
has he been used properly?
Michael
Has he
Owen,
been used
hang
properly?
on, Michael Owen had Robbie Fowler as his foil.
Well, he probably taught some bad habits.
But he wouldn't have, because the point being
allegedly,
is
allegedly.
Robbie Fowler was the main striker, and you had Michael Owen, and he came off the bench, and there was no pressure on Michael. The problem is we've got two centre forwards. One's 21 and one's 22 and one's 19, and there's loads of pressure on them. And I don't think they're ready for that pressure yet. You've got to have a centre forward, I think, that can take that pressure off them, that you can bring in. That's what Shane Tosin should be, but he's not. I'm not saying they're not good players. What I'm saying is there's too much pressure on both of them. Both of them should have
still got enough goals in the team.
No, I know, but we clearly don't, though.
Joseph C says if we'd won 170 million on the Euro lottery, would you have invested any in Everton?
No, I would have selected it.
No, because that's not enough to invest. Years ago, if
I'd invest some and just say, give me some autonomy, and they say, yeah, okay. If you give us that, you can go and do whatever. And I'd just walk into Everton and go, see you, off you go.
Sorry, the social media seems high hard.
Straight out. See, it's people. There's a
Dave Wilde says, seeing as Nias can't control an edge, never mind a football. Do you think anyone will take him in January?
No, because he's only got 6 months left, so I think people just
go to Turkey.
We offered right in the summer. We offered him in the summer to teams for a free loan. Yeah. So basically, it cost them nothing, and we'd take all the wages on just to get him out the club. He said no. So
Simon Rouse says fruit salads or blackjacks.
Fruit salads.
I mean that's the
fruit salad.
Yeah, blackjacks is messy at teeth. Joseph Craven says, hand on heart, do you think we will get Jose sacked?
No.
Put your hand
on
your heart and
I
tell
think there's
me,
a chance to get him.
Is it Jose?
I
don't believe. Gary Ward says dark chocolate peanut M&Ms. Okay.
No, chocolate.
Owen Park says we aren't winning the next 4 games.
Why would we win the next 3 then?
Yeah. Hope we win 2, draw 2.
T-Logic says the Piv should stop selling the secrets to Swansea and set up a meeting with Brands, pass over his black book of players and take it to the promised land of Champions League football. T-Logic says, I agree with Ped. We are very average, so much needs to be changed at the club. Not just the first team needs a revamp. It goes down to the academy, media, commercial, but we have so much potential. We have to be the most frustrating team to support. Yeah. Listen, I don't think necessarily we're an average team. I just think that the problems we've got are crucial to a team getting better.
Answer me this. With these players, do you believe a different manager could get more out of that set of players?
I think...
Because that's the question.
I think the question is that... I think even with someone like Mourinho, it might be difficult to set out what he wants because he's still limited in the positions. I think what he'd want would be in January.
Everyone 13 or more.
Well, no, he'd want another centre back and he'd probably want another centre midfielder straight away. More energy and someone at the back would pace. And obviously that's what the manager wants now. I think
managers don't always get what they want, unfortunately.
No, but if Brands can't see that either.
It's not that Brands can't see it, it's just not football manager. You can't, there's financial constraints.
It does feel like it's been football manager for the last
few years. Wants my favourite Instagram account, Toffee. Where are we? Toby B says, thanks for the entertainment, lads. Listening while packing my bags for a Japan vacation.
Nice.
Very good. Glenn Watson says, in the classic puzzle where the farmer has to take a fox, a chicken and grain across a river on a boat and can only take one at a time, why does the farmer have a fox? Isn't a fox the farmer's worst enemy?
Yeah.
But without the fox, it'd all be fluffy and nice.
I think though, like, wouldn't you get complacent if there wasn't a danger in life?
Exactly, that's the point. I think that's the point. The point is that he's got to make a tough decision.
All right. Well, the FC lad says, do you think the real Paul McCartney is better than his replacement?
I mean, that's one thing.
Well, they've got no shadow on Abbey Road, so maybe.
There you go. Kevin McKenna says Everton 1, West Ham 3. Simon R says, those of you on here that are not patron members, I'd like to know why. Okay.
Fair enough.
P. Merv says Everton will smash West Ham. Why? Because I want Silver gone and I'm the world's unluckiest man.
That's why I have to make predictions.
Mad Welshman says, Baz, you and Ped look like you've had a rough night, or is it just the blues?
Thank you.
You know what? Me and Andy have done a lot of video work today. Ped has been
asleep.
Done nothing, have I? I've
done
nothing.
But no. But what I was going to say was, but then just about when we were just about to go live, the Gabama news dropped, and I've got to be honest, it's deflated us massively.
We had a great conversation about Marcel Brands.
We did as well. Yeah. I apologise. Lewis says, I think the formation is fine, but the players who play in it need to be better, like Schneidlin and Sigurdsson. That's it. Two different players who have got ability and can run would make our midfield totally different. Tom Welsh says, who would be the best footballer between Darth Vader and Arthur Morgan?
Yeah, I think it'd be Darth Vader. He's got more battered parts.
I think Arthur Morgan, because Arthur Morgan's not stiff.
He's got TB.
He can communicate better. And also, he seemed to overcome a lot.
Hang on, hang on. Darth Vader's running down the wing. The fullback comes to take him on. Next minute, the fella's on the floor holding his neck.
That's a foul.
Well, how's it a foul?
He's not touched him. He's not touched him.
Touch him? No, hang on, you touch. No, you need new intergalactic rules.
And he can move the ball.
Walks past, and then next minute he lifts his foot and the ball just goes into the back of the net. And everyone's like, what happened there? And how's it cheating? Is that a rule?
Seal dribble?
Is that a rule? Is that a rule?
Caelan was that Vader.
The only thing that would stop him being a great player is he might stop him from wearing the mask.
Yeah, you can't wear the mask.
He might stop him
when he scored, he could put the mask on.
Nobody cared who he was before he wore the mask, wasn't he? That's all exactly why I'm.
And that's literally got nothing to do with it.
But I'm just adding masks talk.
Stephen Cardy wants to know if Bernard been injured or just dropped. Just dropped. He was ill against Man City. He was ill against City, but he was dropped.
Back to you, the people.
Sam Gooding says DCL is our only player to score since September the 1st and our top scorer.
Do you accept it?
Lewis wants us to play Cenk. Got 5 and 5 for Turkey. He's injured, I think.
Well, do you know what? People are critical of Dom against scoring against Leicester opposition, so hell no. Up, you know what I mean?
Paul Hewitt says, how do you know Keane's not ready? Ped, he's not played.
Ha!
Probably because he's not played.
Royal Blue says, if you put Moise Keane in top 6 team, he'd score.
Yes, he would.
Eugene McGeever says, favourite Everton manager of all time is Howard Kendall and David Moyes.
Isn't it sad that David Moyes, because I've never really seen the best of Kendall until his last 2 spells?
Wow. I love Joe Royle.
I like Joe Royle. That team after we won the FA Cup was really good. That when we finished 6th.
Live and Lid agrees with you, Ped, on Keane, but then says he'd be a sensation across the park.
I think he would be if he was at a club like Liverpool and you got those 3 centre forwards. Look at Origi. If Origi came to us, he'd be nothing. He'd be on his arse. He'd be absolutely rubbish. But because he's got those 3 players in front of him and there's no pressure on him, when he comes into the side, and Klopp gives him all that confidence, and it'd probably be the same with Keane. But the problem is we've got 2 young lads, and I just think there's too much pressure being heaped upon them, and maybe that's where they grow. But if we had someone like, if we had like a Giroud, who was there and who could talk them through and had a bit of experience, go and get Zlatan. Yeah. But you know what I mean? If you had someone with a bit of experience that didn't stress about their own game,
he's not that fit, is he?
He's a leader as well in that sense. Where are we? Guys, this is off Mike Ferris, guys. You think we'll go back to Zaha?
No. Do you think that Keane and John Calvert-Lewin put the side over then with Spas? Good what?
I think so. I think they could.
Never seen my classes. Please tell me that.
Yeah. Invisible games.
Travels 46649 says he disagrees on Keane, Ped. The way he moves with the ball and his touch is excellent. He just needs to have a good run in the team. I feel like we've been here before.
But the problem is, that's exactly what I'm saying now. How does he get a good run in the team?
The best manager.
Because we need goals, and the manager can't find a solution.
I'll tell you the solution. Get more movement around him and play to his strength.
Play a Wobie off Keane and you'll see the problem solved. Tom Walsh wants to know who's your favourite Arsenalist.
Arsenalist?
Arsene Wenger?
That's a shout.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, not 5 stars. A quick twist of 5 stars.
No.
No. Could have been Guy Fawkes, would it? But
Guy Fawkes is a shout, but he never actually burned down the house.
Couldn't do it.
You know, so it's a difficult one, isn't it? You know what I mean?
He tried and failed, really.
Oh, yeah.
So probably an Evertonian.
Team in touch.
Sophie Gallagher can't understand why Bernard has been dropped and not Sigurdsson.
It's a question of a lifetime.
I don't think Sigurdsson can understand it. Sam Gooding says, what player in the world do you think has the most raw talent but is let down due to his decision making? Ross Barkley.
Probably Ross Barkley, yeah. He's got everything you want physically from midfield except that. Touch, yeah.
Lewis CFC wants to know who your favourite Everton player is. Is this Jordan Pickford?
Currently?
Yeah. Is there any like?
Yeah, well, obviously like Alex Iwobi, but that's because I want us to sign. But Lucas Dean. Yeah.
Bernard's man is yours. You haven't got one of you, hate them all, don't you?
I get him in as well.
I hate them all equally, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. Who's the better Joker, Phoenix or Ledger?
Come on, be serious.
Ledger, because he's the only Joker who's gone against Batman. Yeah. The other one's not really a Joker.
What about Jared Leto? Since he had his egg?
No, he's garbage, mate. He's the worst Joker ever in the history of the world.
Pedro Stephen Ormond says Nathan Drake from Uncharted or Joel from The Last of Us.
Probably Nathan Drake, just because he's a happier individual. I mean, Joel's had some shit in his life, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? I mean, no spoilers, but bad things happen to that man. So, definitely. Yeah, Nathan's just a legend, isn't he?
Yeah, he is massive. Does Ped Baz, how long have you known each other and where did you meet?
I met them a couple
Ped
of
kicked shite out of me.
Piv just walked in.
And
just walked in one day.
Piv walked in and went,
Vagrants.
I've seen your stats for these videos and you need to be...
Came in with a ream of paper just all over the place.
He walked
like Harry Potter.
He just went, can I have a glass of water? Room temperature.
Tepid water.
EFC lad says having to kill my horse in Red Dead was nearly as bad as Allardyce.
Did you have to kill your horse?
Saying when it gets into.
Well, there's a moment in the Last of Us that I forgot about.
Well, don't tell me that.
Where bad things happen to your horse.
Okay.
Your horse dies. I mean,
thanks for the spoiler. John Smith says Silver is depressed. Type. Kevin McKenna says, why are we shocked how bad we are? We've settled for second best for so long now. Tom Welsh says Rooney could have been the guy to mentor the likes of Keane and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Toby B says, did you guys ever hear from Jill again? We did. She got married.
She got married.
She's still a patron. She's still living it.
Still living it.
So basically, at times been filled by someone else.
Yeah, not just a time. Joe Max says your favourite bad movie.
Den of Thieves. It's on Netflix. It's so terrible. Gerard Butler goes all method for this heist film. It doesn't even matter. It's great. Well, Highlander as
Baz
well.
appears to be labouring on some kind of point.
The
Matrix is amazing.
Yeah,
well, hang on. So it's your favourite bad film?
Agent
You're saying it's shit, but you're saying
shit.
Highlander.
That was the best. Anything like 2012.
Oh, 2012.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, no, what I watched last night? What? And it's amazing.
What?
Deep Impact.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's a bit stupid the way he drives back on the bike, doesn't it, though, to get the girl?
My favourite.
Yeah, she's not even fit.
She's
got a face like a horse.
Weekend at Bernie's.
And by the way, I think you could call it
my favourite bad film. It's a bad film, but it's fun.
Den of Thieves, watch it. It's good.
Who's in that?
Gerard Butler, 50 Cent, Pablo Schreiber. It's just.
I say what's terrible with him in Geostorm.
Oh, that's
because it's one of those films where everyone in it's English, trying to be American, and they have those accents like they have in Doctor Who when people try to be American and they're awful.
Dick Van Dyke reversed.
Oh, they're just
big dick.
Hello, Mary Poppins.
Talk to them on and tell you.
I mean, that's just Irish. I
don't know what's going on there.
I don't know.
Right.
Good question. I like questions like that.
I know.
Gabama out for another 3 months. Yes, we knew. Getting Jones gave us a question and deleted it.
Why the ex-right back who now plays in the League 2?
Or the fellow who's on the radio.
The Evertonians on the radio.
Owen Park says Cardiff little thing. Swansea.
Cardiff are better than Swansea.
That's what he's saying.
Why? Swansea are top, aren't they? Or up there?
They're up there. But on the flip side, I don't support either club. I just work for them.
Cheers, Owen. Back to your Sean Dyching.
Shit.
Eating your gravel and your worms, Owen. Go on.
Oh, Owen! I love you. You love me. Thank you very, very much for crediting me on being a great marriage. What do I want to say? Don't go around the back.
The cross between Dice and Scary Spice out of it.
I was just thinking about Selector then,
Go Selector. Mr. Millsat is the option. Our problem is the spine of the team. Right through the spine is in bad form, not good enough. And Jason says Sigurdsson could play Firmino role as the striker, as he's difficult to mark.
Why? Because of his movements. He doesn't move.
As a centre forward, he would be, because he'd be down the other end of the pitch. Centre back's like, he's a terrible player. Centre back's following him all.
He's having a nightmare, Gilfie. Let's put him out of his misery.
Shoot him
on the bench.
And let's put you out of your misery by finishing the show. Thanks for watching. Yeah, nice one. So the podcast is out. If you're on Patreon, the podcast video will be out soon. So if you're not on Patreon, that's what you're missing out on. You get to see these two doing a podcast. You don't get to see me doing all the hard work in the background. Match previews being done. That'll be out soon on Patreon. But for everyone else, tomorrow. There's some Road to Glories coming out soon as well.
Marcel Brand's videos.
Marcel Brand's videos coming out on Patreon, exclusive to Patreon. If you're on Patreon, only if you're on Patreon.
Conversation.
It's like half an hour or something.
Can I plug something? It's not bad from there, yeah.
Yeah, go on, mate.
So I was on the Unholy Trinity podcast, something to do with Everton. It's called
It's
called the podcast. It's called The B-Side. Listen to it. It's about my journey. It's getting into football. It's interesting. Go on.
Okay, very last couple of things. I think these are really important. Thor has put the worst film that he loves is Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh,
the best bit is
Stifler.
What does mine say?
What does mine
Dude! Sweet! And Terry Cook, just to finish off, and I think this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch in a film. No, it's not to do with it. Yeah. Terry Cook says, saddest moments in a film when the horse died in Never Ending Story.
Where's that still? Why is ex-Man United like ringing Terry Cook fighting into the show?
He likes it. Went to MLS. That was a bad moment. Never Ending Story. Mad story about that. It was actually made in Germany. It's a German film, and it's only actually half of the book. And what they had to do was they had to give the film to Steven Spielberg to finish off, and loads of it's dubbed. And it doesn't. Doesn't really make
story. That Lionel Hudson's attorney of law tried to sue them because it actually doesn't, and it's a lie. It's one of the ways it's false advertised of all time. Just saying.
So, Never Ending Story. Yeah, it's like only half of the book. And
it ends.
And the horse died, and then the girl saying, "Sebastian, why won't you help us, Sebastian?" That's literally what she says. You're looking at me thinking I'm demented. It's probably because of the lack of sleep.
I'm looking at you thinking I'm interested to see what you do for the Everton News Daily. I can't wait to watch you do that.
You're doing it.
I'm doing it now.
Right, thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for those on Patreon live.
I won't be.
You'll be out Swansea and up.
Swansea and
stuff.
I want to swan you up. It's illegal, by the
way. I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know where your beak's been, but I'll tell you what, you're on the camp now, so I'll probably do.
Let's go.
Right, see you later. Bye.